Okay, Nick Dutch back again. Hopefully this video won't be too ranty, but never mind. Okay, I've had one question from my last video coming in the comment section, which was, have I had an astral projection and have I visited the spiritual plane? Objective answer, yes. Is it real? Yes, 100%. I'm someone who, as a result of direct experience, not as a result of listening to what somebody else has said, but direct experience, has complete and utter 100% confidence that this is a true and real phenomenon. Is it easy? No. Can it be done instantly? No. How long did it take me to have my first experience? 2 damn years. How did I find out how to do it? Through the textbook. The one textbook which everybody who is watching this video, I feel, is morally obliged to read. It is called The Projection of the Astral Body by Sylvan Muldoon and Harewood Carrington. You must get it. You can get it on your phone these days. You can download it on Kindle. But it'd be better to get a paperback version or a hard copy, because then you can put like post-it notes in of the various different sections with various different exercises, the visualizations, the meditations and all that kind of stuff which you'll need to do to go through the training, and the specific ideas, and you'll want to take a highlighter and you'll want to mark out various different sections. Maybe even get 2. One which you can do scribbling in and the other one which you can just read straight. Take it seriously. Read some of it every single night. I mean every single night for a couple of years. Do what it says. Follow the instructions. Okay, experiment with the various different exercises and developmental exercises he's talking about, because it is 100% true and accurate. What was it like? Well, yes, what he described was accurate. Everything is covered in this light which is both blue and yellow or creamy at the same time. There are entities you will come across sometimes when doing this, and they'll be just as real as you. And on top of that, in the experience, when it's done right and you have the full, complete conscious exteriorization of your phantom, then you will definitely 100% know that you are awake. You will be exactly, and I mean exactly, as awake as you are when watching this video right now. You will be just as awake as you were when you went down to the supermarket to do the shopping. You'll be just as conscious as you were when having a conversation with your friend about what was on TV last night. 100% complete. Alright? Sylvan Muldoon described it brilliantly. Alright, his theory was that the astral body comes out of the physical in order to get recharged so you can come back into the physical, because he says that consciousness and using consciousness uses our energy, which is why we're normally unconscious or, you know, having dreams, which kind of hallucination really, in the dead of the night, because that's probably healthier for us. But it can be created, the experience of the astral projection can be created, and can be created with a certain degree of reliability under particular conditions. Is it 100% reliable? Of course not. Can you use that as a means of communicating with somebody else telepathically through dreams? Yes, you can. I have done that before. And it really did freak me out, but it was actually a real thing. He speaks about, you know, when you fall asleep, the spirit comes out of the physical. When you're actually projecting, it will move out and then right itself at a distance. He suggests that being too close to the physical body is bad, and you could end up with swaying maybe from the feet. So you have to move further out when you're conditioning yourself to materialize and become conscious. Okay? Can you walk through walls? Yeah, but sometimes it's a bit like forcing yourself through a gauze, and it feels like there's some kind of like a movement of steam, as it were. It's like steam escaping a valve. I think there's one description that someone gave at some point. That's a real and true phenomenon. I mean, the experiences I've had have shown me that there is no real reason to doubt the existence of life after death. As far as I'm concerned, that is a dead cert. There is no reason to accept the idea that the physical is all that there is, full stop, finito, the end. No, it's not. Get that book, study it, take it seriously. It took me 2 years, when I was quite young, to actually have my first experience, and I had a fair few after that as well. And that just taught me a bit about how things could possibly operate. You know, I don't want to live in a world where people just like read a New Age book and think, oh gosh, that's really interesting, or read a religious book, oh gosh, that's interesting. Why didn't you actually do it yourself? Right? Why didn't you read that book, study it, obsess about it, take it seriously, make it your discipline and dedication over a long period of time to have that experience, and then it's yours. It's there for you to do with as you see fit. All right, and no one can stop you. I mean, I've seemingly had communications with conscious entities out there. I mean, I've visited people and places. I've experienced some things with it. It was really rather bizarre. And it was just as Sylvan Muldoon described. It really was. It was absolutely fascinating. I mean, maybe in some respects I shouldn't have experienced that when I was a bit too young, because, you know, I suddenly become obsessed with trying to make everyone understand this, because it's really important. I mean, all of this world of the weird stuff that we kind of like dabble in, it's all we're doing, dabbling, shoving up, paddling really. Not going for a swim, we're just paddling. But all of this stuff must have some kind of benefits for human communication, human understanding, and maybe human well-being. And therefore I think it is important. And I want to reach a time in world history, right, when we've got more people thinking about this, playing with this, talking about this, and exploring it properly. Okay, so once we've got that peak of people, then essentially the scientific community would have to start taking it more seriously. We're nowhere near that yet, right? Nowhere near under any circumstances. But, you know, we could get there. I think your homework now is to just get that book by hook or by crook. Well, obviously not by crook. I don't want to encourage you to do anything illegal. Just like buy the book, get it out of your lending library, photocopy the pages that, you know, you think is important, download the Kindle version, and make it your, you know, the way of that you do things when you go to bed at night. All right. His description of the chord activity range, accurate. His description of the passive and the active will, accurate. His description about the spiritual entities, accurate. His sensation of, I mean, you don't always see them, but sometimes you do. The experiences of how the phantom moves through 3 different speeds, accurate. There's very little in what he said there which I would disagree with. Maybe there's 1 or 2 words or phrases here or there, but I would say like about 99% or more is gospel. And that's why you should do it, and that's why you should get that book, and that's why you should take it seriously. There is no doubt in my mind about the phenomena whatsoever. The achievability and reliability of it is another issue, okay? And also it does appear to be a very different phenomena than remote viewing, which operates in a very different way and is used for different purposes. It's a different state of mind, it's a different attitude and approach. But the astral body and astral projection is 100% real. Here's another bit of homework for you. Click on my channel name, click on the videos button, use the search facility and search for astral projection, and there should be more videos there which will give you some more input and ideas. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, just get out there and do it, because it must have some kind of importance. This experience must teach you something about human life. Okay, it must do that. You know, we're not just this. All right, we're not just physical. The consciousness can and does periodically exist outside of the physical. There is, therefore, a rationale to have some faith in conscious survival after death, which is also important. Look, some of you people know I use the Spooky 2 Rife system. All right? I didn't approach it from the point of view of someone else telling me stuff. I mean, I read a few reports of people saying it helped with this, that, and the other, and it took maybe 2 months to do this, that, you know, that sort of stuff. But my understanding of this came from experimenting at home myself on my own sickly body. And my body has got a lot of sickness going on with it, and always has had, and possibly always will do. That's why I use this stuff all the time. But my point is still the same. You've got to ask yourself what you can experiment with at home, and therefore get the direct primary data, so to speak, from your own experiences. And that will teach you a lot. Now that is very different to the actual experiences I was discussing in the previous video about what Crowley was suggesting about his body of light, which I think is more to do with a high frequency prayerful state of mind. All right, and also then exercising intention to move out of that of a sense of perception outside of the physical somehow, so you then perceive things of a spiritual nature. But that's through the opening of the chakras in sequence, which I think is what he was alluding to when he talked about rising the planes. All right, setting your intention on this higher level. But that's a different experience altogether. That's a different thing you do when you're still in your body. But what Sylvain Muldoon said, and the actual conscious exteriorization of the ghost which exists inside your body right now, objective fact, 100%. Do it.